Good afternoon, Madam Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Ann Chamberlain. I'm Senior Vice President of the American Society of Travel Advisors located in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm a Washington resident living in Seattle, Washington. While I understand the need to modernize the Washington's tax system, we have serious concerns about a proposal in the Senate bill, the 5997, to repeal the preferential business and occupation tax rate for travel agents and tour operators. In Washington, the travel agency industry consists of 343 retail locations that contribute 2,139 full-time jobs and 168 million in direct economic impact to the state. Undoing this exemption would mean this income is taxed at 1.5%, more than 6 times the current rate, or 2.5% if the governor's separate proposal to raise B&O rates is enacted. This would place an additional tax burden on Washington travel advisors and tour operators of more than 9.8 million between 2020 and 2021. The vast majority of Washington travel agencies are small businesses with razor-thin profit margins. 73% of these businesses employ fewer than 5 people. If passed in its current form, this provision would be devastating to hundreds of Washington travel agencies. We urge you in the strongest possible terms to oppose this provision in SB 5997. Thank you.
Madam Chairman and Committee, I'm Dan Smith. I own Travel by Dan in Seattle, Washington. I'm one of those 343 travel organizations in my area. This additional increase would change my situation where I'd wind up paying another $2,400 in this B&O tax. We operate on very small margins, and the reality is our clients are very smart. They'll leave the state to buy the same product. If I have to add on 2.5% or 1.5% onto my client's bill, they're gone. So you're going to lose in more ways than one. So I would appreciate your awareness of this, and I can oppose this bill of 5997.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Richard Lazaro, Government Affairs Manager at Expedia Group. I'm here to thank you for hearing this bill, signed in other because we're testifying in almost support. Hoping to encourage a couple changes. First, to preserve the travel agent's term in the tax code. Ours is a unique business with unique administrative rules at DOR. So for the sake of continued simplicity in filing, ask that the classification be maintained regardless of the rate. Second, of course, is that rate itself. While a good chunk of Expedia Group's revenue is classified as services and taxed at the 1.5% rate, we acknowledge that 0.275% for a travel agency may not fit Expedia's business, may not fit the Times, but neither does a 545% hike. We're not retailers, but we would respectfully suggest and would wholeheartedly support nearly doubling our current rate to find parity in B&O with the retailers at 0.471%. Solution would help balance the tax code while meeting the needs of the often low-margin travel economy. I appreciate the hard work on this bill and looking forward to getting to consensus.
Okay, great. I'm glad the travel industry could be on the same panel. That was lucky for us. Thank you. Oh, we got one more travel industry person. Sean Vanderputten. And Scott Hazelgrove and Amber Carter.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Madam Chairman and our Chairwoman and the rest of the committee. I've never done this before. I am just one of those frontline travel agents. Our margins are very small. We love what we do. We love our clients. We get the happiest job of sending people on dream trips. However, increasing taxes when we can barely afford health care. I mean, we're down there in the little guy area. We're not big millionaire companies, and that increase in tax could really kind of kill us. And we also have the option to leave the state and work in another state for another company. So cutting off your nose to spite your face doesn't seem like a great plan. And that's why I would strongly advocate to keep our industry growing and thriving here in Washington and really reconsider hurting the little guy. Thanks.
Thank you. Before you go, could you please identify yourself
I'm
for the
sorry.
record? It's okay. I do that all the time too. And
Sean Vanderputten I'm the vice president of the local Seattle Association of American Society, of Travel Advisors, and I'm also a travel agent with the Exquisite Travel Group.
with Exquisite Travel Group? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Scott Hazelgrove before you today on behalf of the Washington State Auditors